y'all, it's Amber, and today I'm making a couple summer recipes. This is my favorite time of the year. I feel like the produce is so good, all the fruits, all the vegetables. So the dishes that I'm making today involve both fruits and vegetables. I'm going to make a dessert and a side, and both of these are good to take to any potluck, cookout, family dinner. I recently just took one of these to our Father's Day celebration with our family. So they're always crowd pleasers and definitely things that you will recognize. So the first one is peach cobbler. And any cobbler to me is good, but in the summertime, I love good peaches. So for this peach cobbler, I am using fresh peaches from an orchard nearby, and I got these peaches from Tiffany at Lazy Goat Produce. They are so perfect, and I'm using them at just the right time because in a couple of days they would probably be a little too ripe. They're perfect right now. Before I get started, another thing about peach cobbler is I think there are all different kinds of crusts that you can use for a peach cobbler. Some people like a pie crust. Some people like a lumpy biscuit crust. Some like it more cakey, where the filling kind of all comes together with the fruit, the bread, everything is together. I like more of a biscuity topping. So that's what we're going to be doing today. But first, I'm going to get my peaches ready. So I have peeled and sliced about 12 peaches, depending on your size. And now I'm going to put in some flour. This is about 2 tablespoons of flour. And 1/4 of a cup of sugar. These probably really don't even need that much sugar because they're already really, really sweet. So I'll get all that in, and I'm just going to gently mix this. Again, because these peaches are really, really ripe. And I don't want to break them up too much because they are going to break apart a good bit while they cook. The flour is just so filling to thicken a little bit as it cooks and not be too watery from the fruit. And then, of course, the sugar is for the sweetness. So I'm going to let that sit, and then I'm going to work on my topping. So, I'm going to mix together 1.5 cups of self-rising flour. If you don't have self-rising, you can use all-purpose. You just have to put a leavening agent in it, so baking soda or baking powder. But I am going to just use self-rising. I'm going to do 1.5 cups. And then I'm going to do that same amount of sugar. And this is going to turn out to be like a sweet biscuit dough, almost like a cookie. But biscuity. So I'm going to get my flour and sugar all combined. And then I'm going to pour in 1.5 sticks of melted butter. And at this point it's going to come together, but it's still going to be a little lumpy. Alright, now I'm going to go in with a little bit of vanilla. My mom taught me that this cap is about 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to do just a little bit more than 1 teaspoon. And then I'm going to pour in a little bit of heavy cream, and other than just making this a little richer, I don't really know what else it does. Maybe it makes it a little smoother. But the consistency that I like is one that you would just plop on top of the peaches. So that's really what I'm going for here. I don't want to be able to pour it. I just want to be able to plop it on top. I just put in a little pinch of salt just to balance it out a little bit. And is our topping. I just take a pinch and taste it. Oh, it's so good. I just want to make sure that it's got a good salty sweet taste. The salt really adds more than you think. Just a little pinch. It really balances everything out. So I have a buttered dish. I am going to pour my peaches in. So we have our peaches in our buttered dish. Now we're going to go in with our topping. And I'm just going to pick up clumps of it and plop it on top. It's all going to come together while it's baking and look like one big crust. But for now, it's just going to be plops of dough, which is how I like it. It's not like a clean look like you would get with a pie crust, which is okay with me. It's still a little crumbly, but it's not quite like a crisp topping, which is super crumbly. And I can't leave any of this behind, so we're going to scrape the bowl. Alright, topping is in. So the last thing, I'm just going to take some sugar and sprinkle on top. Not a lot, just a little dusting. It'll kind of make the top a little crunchy because all that sugar is going to caramelize in the oven. Alright, so this goes in a 375-degree oven for about 35, maybe 40 minutes, depending on the size of your dish and your oven. So we have our peaches in our buttered dish. Now we're going to go in with our topping. And I'm just going to pick up clumps of it and plop it on top. It's all going to come together while it's baking and look like one big crust. But for now, it's just going to be plops of dough, which is how I like it. It's not like a clean look like you would get with a pie crust, which is okay with me. It's still a little crumbly, but it's not quite like a crisp topping, which is super crumbly. And I can't leave any of this behind, so we're going to scrape the bowl. Alright, topping is in. So the last thing, I'm just going to take some sugar and sprinkle on top. Not a lot, just a little dusting. It'll kind of make the top a little crunchy because all that sugar is going to caramelize in the oven. Alright, so this goes in a 375-degree oven for about 35, maybe 40 minutes, depending on the size of your dish and your oven. So our cobbler is out of the oven, and the only way in my mind to eat any kind of hot dessert, so especially a peach cobbler, is with ice cream or at least some whipped cream. But I have ice cream today, just vanilla, so I'm going to serve up a little piece or a little serving. Oh my gosh, those peaches. That was so good. Oh my gosh. So delicious. To me, the topping is perfect because it's got the crunchy top, but the soft right there at the peaches is really soft and bready. The peaches are perfectly sweet. Another day or two they would probably be too ripe, but to me this is the perfect peach cobbler, especially with ice cream on top. Do you want to try it?
Yes. Let's put this in a bag and sell it in the grocery store.
Isn't it so good?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I impressed myself last night, to be honest.
It's like It's like a really awesome sugar shortbread cookie.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
In between the two.
Like a mix between a biscuit and a cookie.
It's perfect, Amber. Like, I wouldn't cry. It's so good.